Yo,
What's happening?
what is good, Raider Nation? Good morning, y'all. We are back, ready to go ahead and shoot out another fire episode. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this thing off, y'all. Here we go. Got Chris, protect the shield. Good morning, brother. How you doing? Our guy, Lunatic Raider, Raider Legions. What is good?
We on? Hey!
We are. None other than Mr. Chris, bringing none other than our guy, Joe Morley, bring out none other than the Violator, Wayne Marbury, bring out none other than the notorious Special Guest. Yes,
What's
sir.
happening? What's the deal, peoples? What's going on, man? Well,
Good
I don't know if
morning.
it's 24 hours. It might be a little plus than that, but like
Yeah,
plus
tonight. Well,
20
it's
some
actually
30
it is
hours.
24 hours. It's
Well, soon,
24.
yeah,
It is
pretty much.
24 hours.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock, huh? Yeah, so we close,
Yeah.
man. 24 hours away from the Raiders putting B2A on the Patriots. Everybody that's been on the show, you already know what that means. So
You already know.
everybody know the deal, man.
You already know. Hey, appreciate everyone pulling up and rocking with us on this Saturday morning. Salute to everyone in the building that's rocking with us on YouTube and also on Twitter. Appreciate you guys pulling up on Twitter. If you guys go ahead and head on over to YouTube, smash that subscribe button, hit those thumbs, be part of the chat. Appreciate everyone pulling up. Before we go ahead and get into it, as usual, we need to go ahead and pop in and acknowledge our chat because the chat lives do matter.
As
Salute
always.
real quick to our guy Raider Ryan in the building. Salute, brother. Our
What's
guy
going on,
Robert
man?
Pena in the
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
What a
What's going on,
dude.
big dog?
Chewy, what is good, my guy? He says,
Oh,
yo, 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 what's cracking, nation? One more day. We'll kick off the season with a dub. That's what's up. Yes,
salute
yes,
Chewy,
sir.
man. I know you're gonna be doing your work during this busy time as well, man. So salute to you. My
Yes,
dog, DJ, what's going on, man?
yes, sir. Shout out to just another DJ. Mario in the building. Salute, brother.
Mario,
Appreciate
what's
you
going
pulling
on,
up.
bro?
Clara in the building. Salute, salute. Appreciate you pulling up. Our guy Ardell. What is the deal, my
RDL,
guy?
what's going on,
Salute.
bro?
Appreciate you pulling up.
Salute
Uh,
to all the family.
yeah, Raider man. He's like, let's go. I'm ready for football. That's what's up.
Exactly.
You and us both for sure.
Salute to you.
Uh,
Salute to you.
Leo in the building. Cheeto
Brother
Lionel,
man.
our
What up,
guy.
brother?
Salute, brother. Appreciate you pulling up, rocking with us this morning for sure. And our guy, Chris
Oh snap!
Shields
Hey,
in the
hey, cause
building.
he ain't gonna plug it in here. I'm gonna plug it for him. If you haven't seen it, man, go to my brother's channel. He has a interview with Jason Campbell. Right? If you're trying to look at some real dope Raider content on this Saturday evening, go ahead tap in with my guy Chris, man. Protect the Shield. He got an interview with Jason Campbell. He just did yesterday, man. Just dropped it. So
Yes, sir. Make sure you guys go ahead and head on over and tap in with our guy Chris Protect the Shield. Make sure you guys go ahead and smash that subscribe button
Fire.
on his channel for sure. Shout out to Suka. He says, "What's up? First time here, trying to support the only Raider content creator I fuck with. That's what's up, brother.
Big
Appreciate you
dog.
putting
Appreciate
up
you
with
being
us.
here, man.
Salute, salute. Yes, sir. Uh, there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and kick this thing off, y'all. Before we go ahead and start previewing tomorrow's game, let's go ahead and bring out our next guest. Uh,
Yes,
you
sir.
know her, you know her from the Raiders Squad show. She shoots out fire content with our guy Lincoln Kennedy and Q Myers. You make sure you guys tap in to their show Mondays and Thursdays. But let me go ahead and bring out Miss Chantelle Chand in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Salute. How you doing?
Yes,
Appreciate you
sir.
pulling up with us, rocking with us on this Saturday morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Excited to be here with y'all. Y'all got a fire intro, by the way. I was getting hype. Just waiting for you
Oh,
guys to bring me in. So, yeah, excited to be on the show with y'all. And it's almost game day. We've been waiting for this for a minute, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
first
yeah.
of all, we
Yeah.
love when people talk about the intro. That's
Yes.
one. We love that. But definitely, man, couple hours away, man. We can't wait to go ahead and kick these things off. But I know we got some questions and everything we got to get into the weeds of it as far as
Oh,
tomorrow
yes.
game and everything, man. What we can expect.
Yes, 100%. Um, Let me go ahead and kick things off. Uh, Really quick, I think probably one of the main, probably I'm gonna start off with the headlines this morning. I think this is probably one of the bigger headlines that happened
Yeah.
just a couple of days ago. Amari Cooper retires from football, retires from the Raiders. Crazy, crazy thing. Um, Literally, I was a little bit stunned that this actually just came out and happened. I'm not too surprised that it actually this was announced. Kind of looking, starting if you follow the tea leaves, there were signs that this could this could have potentially happened, but it makes sense why it did happen. But real quick, let me go ahead and get your initial thoughts once you guys heard the news break about Amari Cooper retiring from football. I'm going to go ahead and start with Miss Chantelle Chand. What were your thoughts when you heard this?
I was kind of surprised, to be honest with you, because he signed the deal. He said that he wanted to like come back to the Raiders, and we all know how Coop's career has kind of gone. Coming out of Bama, everyone kind of thought that he would be, one of the budding superstars in the league. I thought that too. There's a tweet way back when he was at Bama, and I was like, the Raiders got to draft this kid, and they ended up drafting him. And then we saw what happened with the Raiders. They ended up, trading him. We saw what happened last season when he was with the Bills. We saw what happened when he was with Dallas, and he just like never ended up taking that next step to be one of the superstars. Like he's a great receiver, but he never ended up taking that next step where he was like a superstar, right? I thought he was going to be like the Tim Brown of the Raiders when we drafted him. That's how much hype I believe was on Coop. So I thought him coming back, I thought he didn't have to prove anything because he was already a 10-year vet. But I felt like he was going to at least bring us some more depth in the wide receiver room, which I didn't even have a problem with at the time, to be honest with you. But I thought that it would bring the Raiders a little bit more depth, give Geno another target, a solid target. And I thought Coop could have a good season with the Raiders. But it just turned out, and there were reports that came out that he didn't look that impressive when he came back. And of course, he wasn't really in shape. And then the report came out like, hey, I'm going to retire. And there's been questions about, how badly Coop wants to play. He's never had that superstar aura, I guess you could say, where, he's all ego or anything like that. He's kind of quiet.
Right.
He does his job. He's very different from like the wide receivers we've seen in the past because they always say they're divas, right? Coop's never been like that. But I think for me is a little bit of a surprise. I mean, you come in, you sign a 1-year deal, and then you're like, I want to retire. But at the same time, as a Raiders fan, I don't want someone like that on the team. Like if your heart isn't fully in it, then I don't want you on the team. Right. So that's how I'm rocking with it. And so if Coop wants to retire, then I'm all good with that. I think that that's good for him. I think he had a solid career, but I really think he never really hit his potential, but a little bit out of left field. And I think some people were surprised. What did you guys think about it?
Run. Go ahead and share.
Well, I'll keep it the PG version here. I've never been the biggest Coop fan, to be honest with you. Even when he was here the first time. But see, this is the thing. For me, I wasn't excited when he first signed. So like him leaving like doesn't really impact me like that. And I told Jay when he first got here, because I'm different. I try to read tea leaves. I look at things a little close, right? When he got here, and the first thing that came out of his mouth on that press conference was, "Man, I'm tired from the plane ride, and man, it's too long." I told Jay, I don't like that. That don't sound good to me. Regardless if you were 10-year vet or not, you was just on the couch for how many months? What you mean you tired? You know what I mean? There's multiple other undrafted receivers, other receivers that probably would not say that. How many other receivers or stories in the NFL we heard, man, I'd have had to drive down to a practice. You know what I mean? No sleep, whatever the case, but it is what it is for the love of the game. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear that. And even the story I told you last year from Buffalo, he said he had to find the motivation to practice. Now, hold on, big dog. You with an MVP. You are with the Buffalo Bills, a team, and you getting to a point close to a Super Bowl you ain't never been to. What do you mean you have to find the motivation to practice? So if you got to find that there, how you gonna find that here? It's like if you gonna be searching for it here, dog. Like, because we're not Buffalo. So at the end of the day, him leaving, like, I think doesn't really impact anything. I'm glad. I like the way Chip handled it, to be honest with you. When Chip came out there and he said, "Hey, I wasn't really thinking he was going to play anyway on Sunday. We keep it rolling, things that's what I want to hear from Chip. You know what I mean? Because it makes me feel more confident. Like the game plan wasn't all centered around him. We're going to be scrambling, things of that nature. But I agree with the sentiment. It's like, if you're not going to be here and your heart's not fully in it, then you cannot be here. It's simple and plain, man. It's year one of Pete and Spytech. You know what I mean? We can't have players like that, and we trying to start something. So I'm all in there.
Yeah, for sure. And to Chantelle's point, where she was saying just a bit ago that there was concerns, he's out of shape. Let me go ahead and play a little bit of footage of that. And they had him on practice the other day, and he did not look like an Amari Cooper that's kind of been working out and training in the off season. I don't know what Spytech was told or anything like that. And I questioned it earlier on Thursday when I did my pull-up show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that conversation was, because they've been in contact they said for months, for a minute. And obviously that question has to be asked, like, what are you doing to go ahead and stay in shape? What type of regimen you're doing? And I don't know if there's a little bit of fluff in there or what, but obviously Amari, there's another video clip too, when I think that day where after he did the presser, you could tell he was tired. All right, cool, we'll give him now. You didn't sleep. All right, you just came from, just got off the plane or whatever. We know how that feels, but at the same time, too, looking at that clip, it kind of tells you the tale of the tape of what's kind of behind Amari Cooper. Now, yes, he was signed, and he was most likely to be that depth piece, probably looking at that 3 or 4 spot. It wasn't going to make a big impact, but there's going to definitely be a target out there. If he was in shape, that was a target that you would have had to respect, because if not, you're going to go ahead and get cut. Unfortunately, in the case, and this was the thing that he probably knew, hey, you know what? I don't have it anymore, or I just wasn't prepared for this, right? So how at one point probably he thought, hey, you know what? I'm probably gonna not get picked up this season. I'm just gonna go ahead and chill. That could have been the case. So many things that could have happened. But what does this mean to the receiver room going forward? Right now, we just elevated Justin Shorter from the practice squad over to fill in that gap. But after that, what does that mean? Are we going to stick with Justin Shorter? Are we going to go ahead and rotate off the practice squad? Are they going to go ahead and get out somebody in free agency? Now, what's in free agency is slim pickings. There's only a couple names that I would go ahead and mention that would be even viable. One of them being Gabe Davis, the other one being Nelson Aguilar, that former Raider that used to rock with us. But what are you guys' thoughts to this receiver room to go ahead and fill in that extra spot now that Amari is no longer here? Chantelle, go ahead and give me your thoughts on it.
I'm actually okay with the wide receiver room, to be honest with you. I think Jacoby Myers has a really good chance this season to be that number one guy and take that next leap, make that bread, because that's what he initially wants. And I think he has a chance to do that. He's the best receiver on the team. And then you got a guy like Dante Thornton Jr. Gino's going to be looking for him when that deep ball comes. Like this tomorrow, they're going to be looking for that, right? Because that Patriots secondary, it's looking a little bit weak without Christian Gonzalez. So I think Dante Thornton's going to be huge. I think Jack Bech is going to be a guy that can be solid for us. There are young guys on this team, and also Trey Tucker. Like we've seen what Trey Tucker has done in the past, but this is a year for him to also prove it. So it's like if you're in the wide receiver room, there are targets for Gino. And these guys can step up and be those guys. I don't think the Raiders have to go out and spend a lot of bread and get someone. If they were going to spend money, I'd say look at the secondary. That's where I would want to spend my money, because I think they can make it work with the guys that they have, and I got a lot of faith in the young guys. So I'm okay with the wide receiver room. What about you guys?
I'm there. I told myself after watching that Cooper video, I'm like, man, I should probably not be so petty, whatever. But hey, man, I tried. I thought we signed Thayer Mumford back when I watched that goddamn video. I said, damn, Sweet Feet Mumford back. I said, okay, but anyway, looking at that, bro, honestly, the wide receiver room, there is hope. Like Chantelle was saying. I mean, we got targets in there. There's young guys in there. Hunger in there too. Like I said, there's a guy that needs his money in Jacoby Myers. You got Trey Tucker who needs to prove something, right? This year, 3, right? This year 3 for Trey Tucker. It's make or break now. You know what I mean? Because it's a new coaching staff, and if you don't show them anything this year, then the likelihood of you getting that new contract with the team dwindles. So there's that. You know what I mean? We haven't heard from Bech, which I feel like we will hear from Bech at a certain point in the season. I know some fans are concerned because we didn't see a lot in the preseason, but I think he will be heard from going forward. And then Thornton, of course, man, I think just the only thing now is that more falls on Thornton's shoulders going into it. I think the reason I did like the Cooper thing is because like now I don't have to tell Dante Thornton he has to do a whole bunch of X, Y, and Z right now. Now he can just focus on getting better incrementally. But now it's like, okay, now you have to be out there. You have to win. You know what I mean? In certain spots, not just the deep ball. You know what I mean? You got to win in other areas of the field. So that's where I'm looking at with him. But honestly, I think, if we're really looking at it, since Brock Bowers is the number one target, you know what I mean? That every time Gino drops back, the eye should be, where's 89? You know what I mean? So off of that, there's a lot of good pieces around Brock Bowers to complement it. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and agree with Chantelle. I think this wide receiver room is good. Like you said, Ren, we got Brock, then you got Jacoby, and then you got Trey. So you got 3 guys that have experience that can go ahead and go in there and are proven to go ahead and make things happen. And then you have Jack Bech, Dante Thornton, and we initially, quote unquote, brought in Amari to go ahead and help alleviate some of those reps from Dante. Give him a little bit more time to develop because he does have some potential there, obviously. Same thing with Jack Bech. But now that he's gone, I think probably the move that's going to happen is that they're going to go ahead and rotate guys off the practice squad. You do have some talent in Shedrick Jackson. We saw him in preseason. He did pretty good. Alex Bachman, he's improved in this preseason, second year with us on the practice squad. So, I don't know if they're going to necessarily go out for somebody in free agency. They could, but I don't really see that happen. They're really going to go ahead and rock with this receiver group and see what they're made of. But obviously with Jacoby here, you still have that deal going on. Amari's gone. My question is, does this deal actually get done now? Is there more probability of it actually happening? What are you guys' thoughts? Rundown. I'll go ahead and go with you. But before that, let me go ahead and play this clip on Jacoby's thoughts on whether a deal gets done. Here we go.
Do you think there's a chance this deal will get done, or you think it's not going to happen now?
I honestly don't even know, to be honest, but we're going to see. We all going to find out together. Whatever they want to do, they want to do, but I ain't tripping. If they don't, I'm going to be good regardless, you feel me? So we chill out.
Don't know, man. It don't sound good. I say that. I mean, it don't sound like a positivity. If anything, I think like a bump in pay. You know what I mean? Like maybe they give him like an $8 million. I don't know if it's like an extension. I don't know what you call it, but you know what I mean? A raise. Give him a raise. You know what I mean? Something like that
bonus
for this year. Yeah, and then you rock for next year. See what that is. I mean, I really do think. I know some people will scoff at it because you haven't seen anything, but I really do think Besh might be the reason why they have not signed him yet. They might just be like, okay, can we? You know how teams do. Can we get that production from the younger guy? You know what I mean? And all that extra. So they're probably waiting to see if they can get that. Time will tell. But at the end of the day, I still think we should re-sign this man. I mean, the way he goes about his business, you know what I mean? The way he is and goes about his work, you need that type of player here, man. We just got done talking about Amari. This is the complete opposite flip side, man. We need that.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Chantelle? What are your thoughts? Do you think a deal gets done pretty soon?
I think a deal eventually gets done. Like, they don't actually want to move him, right? Because they got a lot of calls for a guy like Jacoby Myers, and they were just like, "No, we're not going to move him, not just yet." And so I think the Raiders know what they have with him. I think it's just the amount of money that they might give him. I think that's the biggest question. But the Raiders do have the money to give him, but it's like they want to see what he does. And I think in the past we've seen with like Pete Carroll and a guy like Spytek, like they want to see what the guy does on the field, right? They want to see what Jacoby Myers does on the field this season. And if he does well, they're going to reward him. So I'm not mad at that. I actually love his mindset. Like, he's not going around pounding around like Micah Parsons, like, oh, I didn't get a deal, like laying on like a bench, you know, like being a distraction. He's taking the high road, and it's like you want quality guys like that in the locker room. And so I respect that about Jacoby Myers, because it's like these guys go out on the field and, like, let's be serious here. Football's a dangerous sport. They do put their lives on the line every time they hit the field, right? Because anything can happen. You can get injured. Like, it could be a career-ending injury. And he's coming to play. He's being there for his teammates. And I think the deal eventually gets done. But at the same time, I think the Raiders are just trying to see what they have. So they're not showing all of their cards. I think they'll eventually sign him to a deal. But also, I think when it comes to the next draft, they're probably going to look at some wide receivers for sure.
Yeah.
And I think we're getting into that territory because, like, if you really get into the weeds of it, you can say, like, okay, well, what type of tier is Jacoby, right? And you start to understand. Of course, we all understand he's not in that Jamar Chase, you know, all that $30 million per year receiver range. We know that. But, you know, guys like Deebo Samuel, Cortland Sutton, all these guys, they're making $22, $23 million per year. Jacoby's making 11, right? Like, it's like, it's okay to say he can get that $11 million increase. I would think that is fair to say for the caliber of skill he is. But at the same time, it's not wrong for somebody to say, I would want to find one of those type of receivers too. You know what I mean? That's not wrong to say you would like to add that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think that we probably won't get a deal done anytime soon. It probably would happen towards the end of the season. If anything, maybe a small bonus that they would go ahead and throw his way just to kind of, you know, keep him happy, give him, because right now he does not have any guaranteed money on the books. But they're probably going to wait towards the end of the season to kind of see what happens with Jack Besh, how he performs on top of that. And if all goes well, then maybe a 1-year extension happens where he can go ahead and get some guaranteed money on the books. But if they're going to go ahead and try to just kind of keep him happy for the moment, probably a signing bonus would be something that would be more realistic. It doesn't go against your cap. That comes directly from ownership, whether it's going to be $2, $3, $4, $5 million bonus. That's up to them. That's up to their discretion. But that extra money, at least on his books, would go a long way. And that's something would be more probable. But as far as an actual extension gets done, because he's looking to go ahead and stay here for the next couple of years. And I don't think that's a plan that Pete and Spytek have. They're really going ahead and banking on Dante Thorne and Jack Besh, these receiver group that they just went ahead and drafted. And then, like Chantelle said, they're going to go ahead and look at receivers in this next draft coming up as well and start building that receiver room for the future. So with all that being said, they're really going to go ahead and kind of pump the brakes a little bit and see kind of how that unfolds before they make any big moves like that. But let's go ahead and switch over to the Raiders versus
we go.
Patriots Week 1
Yes.
preview. Man, we
What
are
time?
just under 24 hours away from kickoff. Man, shout out to my guy, LV Raider 10, Raider Jeff, my guy
Oh,
Predator
yeah, they
Raider.
out
They're all
there,
out
man.
there. Mike, Raiders Against the World. They're all out in New England right now. We're wrapping, holding down for the nation. Salute to them. They're all partying, doing the shindigs in Boston. But we out here. We're going to go ahead and break down Week 1. So let me go ahead and start off with the unproven test. So the unproven test is we have a young team. We have some rookies that we went out and drafted, and this is going to be their first major test, the first real season NFL game. What are we thinking that how are they going to go ahead and perform tomorrow? How is Genty going to perform? What are we going to see from Dante Thornton, Jack Bash, Darian Porter? Even Darian Porter slipped down to CB3 behind Caillou Kelly. But once he's going to get rotated in, what production are we going to see from him? We have a little bit of unproven guys. And Thomas Booker, you can even put him in that category. He didn't get too many reps when he was out in Philly. He had a pretty good preseason, but he hasn't really had too many reps. What is that all going to look like? Chantelle, I'm going to start with you. What do you expect to see from these rookies, from these unproven guys?
Man, I think this game is going to be all about the trenches. And I say that because when you take a look at the Patriots, it's like, what are they going to give you, right? And when we talk about the offense, we all want to see what Ashton Genty's going to do because that's the unproven test. We saw a little bit in preseason. We didn't see a lot, though, because obviously he's going to be a workhorse for this team, and they're going to run the ball a lot. They're going to run the ball a lot in this game, too, because on the Patriots side, on the O-line, I was saying this on the squad show, there's 2 rookies on their O-line.
Yep.
Right? 4 new guys on that O-line. And also, you know where Max Crosby, you know who he's going to be across from. He's going to be across from Morgan Moses, and he's going to make Morgan Moses eat it all day. Like Max Crosby is going to eat tomorrow. So when it comes to the defense, and you mentioned Darian Porter, I actually like what I saw from Caillou Kelly, and he was one of the guys during training camp and preseason where I was like, okay, the Raiders got to start this guy. It takes pressure off a guy like Darian Porter, right? Because he doesn't have to perform right away, and we know that the secondary is kind of thin. So I like that they got a guy like Caillou Kelly in there. And this way, like if Darian Porter, he's going to make rookie mistakes, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
especially in the secondary, like this is what happens in the NFL, right? You're going to see that adjustment being made. So I think for the secondary, Darian Porter, him being CB3, not a bad thing, right? Be behind some vets, learn, and you're going to make some mistakes. I'm good with that. As I was saying for Ashton Genty, you're only as good as your O-line. And I know the Raiders O-line, people are questioning it. Like it's kind of funny. I hate watching national broadcasts sometimes.
Yeah, they don't
of them
know
cover
who
the
you're
Raiders
talking
because it's like if you don't follow the Raiders, if you don't like actually watch every game, you're not gonna know what you're talking about. So usually I just like mute it and like go get a snack or something during halftime. But I will say this: like the O-line, I like the fact that there is some continuity. Right? Like we saw DJ Glaze kind of become DJ Glaze, and now he's a guy at right tackle where I'm comfortable with a guy like DJ Glaze. Obviously, some movement on the O-line too with, Meredith and JPJ. I'm okay with that though, because it's like they know what they're doing with the O-line better than I do.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like at first I was like, whoa, why are they moving JPJ? But it might work out. And I have more faith in the Raiders O-line than I do this Pats O-line. So I think they're going to open the holes up for Ashton Genty. I think he's going to have himself a day. And as I mentioned earlier, Gino's going to look for that deep threat in Dante Thornton Jr. And I think I'm actually betting on Dante Thornton Jr. to have a touchdown in this game because I don't trust any of the Patriots secondary, because if Christian Gonzalez is not going to play, their secondary actually looks pretty thin. Like I'm not even like, you got a guy like, Pettis, Marcus Jones. You also got a guy like, Carlton Davis. I'm not feeling their secondary. And I'm like, I think Gino might be able to eat with some of our receivers. So I'm actually going to I'm going to place a bet on Dante Thornton Jr. getting his first touchdown in this game. So I think the Raiders have a good chance to win. At first, I didn't like the fact that it was a 10 a.m. game because you know how that goes for us, right? Like I'm superstitious. I'm mad superstitious. So I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But then I realized like the Patriots O-line, 4 new guys on that O-line, the secondary is looking weak. So I actually think the Raiders are going to get this win on the road. And I think the young guys are going to shine. Like Genty's going to have a decent game. I think Dante Thornton's going to shine in this game. I'm most curious about Jack Besh, if I'm going to be real with you guys, because coming in from the draft, like he was having more hype than Dante Thornton Jr., right? People talked about like how good he was, how hardworking he was. So I kind of want to see what he does in this game. But I think for the rookies that will have a really good game, that's going to be, Genty, obviously, because we're going to run the rock. And then a guy like Dante Thornton Jr. But what are you guys thinking about this game? Because I'm feeling confident about it.
Oh, it's a dub for me. Yeah. It's a dub for me. Now there are certain players that I'm questioning, but at the end of the day, like as far as the overall of it, I'm with you. When it comes to their O-line, right? You got Malcolm Kuntz going against a rookie in his first start, right? As good as Will Campbell is, and I see some Charger people in here. They're going to like that I say this. I don't think that he's as good as Joe Alt like last year. You know what I mean? So I think he can be had, and he will have some issues with Malcolm Kuntz. Well, first of all, I should be able to see Malcolm eat anyway. Chantelle already talked about it. Barbecue chicken over there with Morgan Moses over there and Max Crosby. We know the deal there. And Jay knows where I'm going with this because we talking about the D-line now. There's one dude on that D-line I need to see something from, right? And it's number 9. It is number 9, dog. I don't care about nothing else. He needs to be heard from. Because not only is there a rookie on the left tackle, there's a rookie on their guard spot. They got a rookie guard, and like Chantelle pointed out, 4 new starters, right? So somebody got to eat in there in the interior. So I need to see who that will be. I'm expecting Geno to have a nice little game. I ain't gonna lie. I'm expecting Geno, Bowers, to have a nice little game too. Because now that Gonzalez isn't playing, I think that was the only dude I looked at their defense to say like he can cover Bowers probably. But without him, there's nobody else. You know what I mean? Carlton Davis is not doing that. They're for damn sure not putting Spillane over there. I dare them to put Spillane on Brock Bowers, bro. Like I dare them to do that. So they're damn sure not doing that. Christian Ellis is pretty nice. He is nice. That's the dude we almost signed from them, and they snatched him away from us last second. So he can do it, but not for a full 4 quarters. So we'll see. Now Chantelle already told us about her prop bet with Dante Thornton. I'm looking. I don't know if I want to add that. I might add that.
In the parlay or just the single? Like I'm betting on that just solo because I got a different parlay, but yeah.
Okay. I was about to say the parlay a little risky. But the solo I can do that for sure. I think that can work. Like you said, the safety play, they're not even playing Kyle Duggar either. Their safeties are like 2 young dudes. So I do see that 100%. Now they are probably going to say you're not going to run the ball today. That's probably what their main thing is going to be. So expect the box loaded, but I think our experience will get him in the end, man. We're gonna win. I'm 24-17. That's where I'm at, man. Something like that. 24-17.
Yeah. I'll give my score prediction in just a bit, but the depth chart. I'm still waiting to see if the Raiders go ahead and put out their depth chart for tomorrow. I think it's going to come out in just a bit. I checked a little bit ago before the show, but I do have the depth chart that was put out on September the 2nd. Now you got Dante Thornton, Colton Miller at left tackle, Parham at left guard, Jordan Meredith at center, JPJ at right guard, Glaze at right tackle on the interior. On the other side, you got Brock, Jacoby as being that other wide receiver, Trey Tucker, you got Geno, and then Ashton Genty as running back 1. On the other side of the ball, you got Max. Thomas Booker, as of right now, as of this point, is designated to start at D tackle. Adam Butler, Malcolm Kuntz on the other side of Max. You got Jermaine Pratt, Landon Roberts, Delvin White. He just got moved to that weak side. I think was yesterday. Darnay Holmes, Kyle Blue Kelly, and then you got Eric Stokes.
Can I ask y'all something real quick? And this is honestly, are we like underestimating how bad the corner room can actually be? Like, is that something that we can probably underestimate? Because really looking at it, look at our starting 3 corners. Like, realistically, looking around the league, you're like, okay, these are not, you know what I mean? If you look around the league at the good teams, a lot of these dudes ain't starting for them teams.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can start with Chantelle. Are we underestimating how bad they can actually be? Because I mean, even the nickel spot, Darnay Holmes for 17 games. You know what I mean? Like this is where we're at.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's like we're not actually going to know until they're out on the field. In football, it's always like next man up. We got to work with the guys that we have. One thing I will say, though, is Pete Carroll, he has a history of knowing what's good in the secondary and the guys that he wants to bring in. I thought Greedy Vance looked great in preseason. I was like, he didn't make the 53-man roster, but I think we're going to see him later on, right? I think we're going to see him later on. Mm-hmm. So it's like I think they're going to play with it throughout the season. And this is like classic Pete Carroll. They never put in a lot of money into their secondary. Like even when he was in Seattle, right? They developed guys. They drafted the right guys. And remember, like Richard Sherman wasn't like, top 5 draft pick. Like he didn't go in the first like 3-4 rounds. So it's like they know what they want, especially when it comes to Pete Carroll. Like secondary is his bag, right? So it's like I think we're going to learn how bad the secondary is. I don't want to panic just yet. Because I think if Eric Stokes is healthy, and I'm taking the positive route here, and most of the time, sometimes as a Raiders fan, that's hard to do. But Eric Stokes, if he can be healthy and play like how he should, I think that he can be a monster in this defense, right? If Darian Porter ends up being the Darian Porter that we think he's going to be with some time, like this is why I think Caillou Blue Kelly there is perfect, right? Because it's like Darian Porter's not going to have that pressure. He's not going to get burnt week 1 and be like, oh man, like I gave up a big touchdown or something like that. So it's like, we're not putting too much pressure on him. We're going to let him grow a little bit. I think that's important too for the Raiders, right? So it's like, I think the second, and Jeremy Chin, like he looked decent in preseason.
I like Jeremy Chin and I like Palomau.
So it's like, I think, some of these guys probably wouldn't be starting, but we got to work with what we have. I trust in what Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham want to do with this defense. So
now, Pete, I'm gonna trust Pete with the secondary. He did kind of scare me a little when he started talking about the rotation at the corner spot over there at the CB2. I'm like, all right, Pete. Well, if the corner starting is getting cooked, what's gonna happen to the backup if we're over here rotating? So I don't know what's gonna go on over there, man. But at the same time, I do agree with the sentiment, right? We don't have to put Darian Porter out there immediately, knowing that he's only played the position like 2 years. You know what I mean? And his 3rd year playing is in the NFL. So that'd be there. Eric Stokes is the key though. He has to stay healthy, man. He has to stay
healthy. I don't know what we're gonna do if that guy goes down, right?
Yeah, he has to.
That's the question I asked. I'm like, what's gonna happen with Eric Stokes if he gets injured? What then? Right.
Well, you know who has to play then. You know who has to play then, Jay. And then I'm not even gonna say it, bro, because I'm not even gonna subject Chantelle to our foolery over here. But what I will say is there's a certain name on this secondary that scares me to death if he has to get on the field.
You got to keep it real because it's like the first game is tomorrow. We got to hear it.
If the Cameron, first of all, I saw Quentin Johnston get 2 touchdowns yesterday. The Cameron finna give up 400 yards to Quentin Johnston.
Yeah,
if that's the case, bro. He scares me, bro. He does. Because even in the preseason, he didn't look like he improved to a point that we needed, right? His tackling was still suspect in the preseason. He was playing well late into the 3rd quarter. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, if he's got to get on the field, bro, against these starters, our D-line got to get there, man. We got to. Yes, quit rubbing his hands together like Birdman, man. I'm telling you right now, dog.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. You guys think that they should go out and grab a piece for the secondary? Because there's still some names floating out there, and they have the money to do it. And like, as a Raiders fan, like that's what frustrates me is like we have the money to do it. So it's like why
right now,
so and there's some names on there. There's some names on there where I would be interested in bringing them in, but then it's like then you're bringing in another guy. Does it mess up the chemistry? But it's like if it looks that weak, and we have the money, like why aren't we spending it?
Now this was the pipe dream, right? Like this was like it probably wasn't going to happen, but at the time, right when Jalen Ramsey was available, when a lot of us were clamoring and saying like, "Hey, man." You know what I mean? Yeah. You should probably do that. Look, if he was here right now, you probably look at the secondary and be like, okay, We got time to wait for Darian Porter for real. And he has somebody to really learn from, to look at his skill set and his body type.
Going to set the standard.
Exactly. But and then if you're not going to pay Jacoby anyway, right? Like if that's the plan and you're not even going to give Jacoby that money, we could have gave some of that bread to the Jalen Ramsey side, right? But at the end of the day, like we didn't do that. And there's been multiple times, like Shantelle said, for us to get this corner spot correct. There's been nickels here, like here and there available. There's been outside corners here and there available. We're just gonna. I feel like we're just rolling with this. It just feels like Pete's saying this is what we're gonna go with until I find somebody suitable that I really like for this fit.
Yes, and their whole mindset was they didn't. Spytech didn't think that Jacoby warrants an extension. That came out too, and shout out to Sean Reed for putting that out there. You know that wasn't on their mindset, and that's why that Jacoby's asking for a trade is because he feels he deserves a raise, or he feels he needs an extension, guarantee money on the books for this year and going forward for the next year or two, whatever it is. But that's not what they're digging. They're like, no, we don't feel that. So if that was a mindset from the get-go, I agree. We should have went out and got a guy like, Jalen Ramsey, or, even going down a little bit down lower in the trough to help to go ahead and provide support for this, corner room that's really thin. So I don't know how. Hopefully these guys can. Hopefully Darian Porter does break out. He's able to go ahead and take some development from this game, and then we'll see what happens for that week 2 at the home opener. But the big thing here is Eric Stokes does need to go ahead and stay healthy.
Okay, can I ask y'all this real quick? I don't mean to cut y'all off too, but let me ask about the D line, right? What's the positives that we can take away? Are we feeling like there's going to be a lot of pressure tomorrow? I feel like there will be pressure, but the interior, I think, who are we going to get it from for the interior? Because again, I mean, we all know the situation that happened with the Wilkins thing, and I think all of us just like brush it to the side now. But it's like he was an All-Pro player. So, you do have to kind of replace that a little bit. You know what I mean? So who do you guys kind of look at in this D-line interior-wise to have a good game?
Well, I think I took a look at the depth chart on ESPN, but I don't know if they had updated it. But Booker was looking pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. They moved him up on the inside, and like Philly was stacked when it came to the D-line and their defensive tackle room. So he didn't get a lot of burn while he was in Philly. But I think he's a guy that could surprise a lot of people. And then also, like, Tyree, you move him from the outside to the inside. Like, I think Tyree can be that piece, and he has to play well this year. Yep. Like, there's no excuse.
Shut up for him.
Yeah, we've been waiting for him to see the Tyree Wilson that, they were saying that we drafted. Because remember when we drafted him, they're like, oh, he's going to be on the other side of Max Crosby. They're going to eat, and we were all excited. And then it's like, he's a physical specimen, but he hasn't developed that skill as the years have gone on. This is his time. And I thought he was everywhere in preseason. And I was like, okay, Tyree. So I think it has to be Tyree. I think Booker could be one of those guys, but I'm not too concerned about the D-line. And I mean, we're going to see what happens. I think the D-line is one of the lines I'm actually confident with because, I mean, you got a guy like, Malcolm Coons, who I'm excited to see back. We're going to see if he has his confidence. And then you got a guy like Adam Butler, who I'm really big on. Good guy in the locker room, too. I think it has to be Tyree or it has to be Booker that has to show out.
Yeah. Tyree, man, it's money year, man. This is money year. And maybe it's unfair for us to say, like, okay, we see you growing incrementally because it's wrong to say he hasn't improved, right? For somebody to say Tyree has not improved, that's disingenuous. But has he improved to the point to say, man, that's the 7th overall pick right there? I don't know about that, right? I don't know about that, especially when a guy like Jalen Carter gets drafted a couple picks after and he's doing the things he's doing, right? So it's like you have to start performing at the degree that we need you to. Yeah, damn, Kenny, 30 points by halftime. I love the
all right.
Okay.
I love the positivity.
Yes. All right.
I like the picture that he's got on Mahomes right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And they went down yesterday, man. I want to say that they don't look good, but the Chiefs always start the season off a little weird.
Rough.
You know what
It's
I
Yeah,
mean?
they
week
start a
one.
little rough.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put too much weight on it because it's week one.
Yeah.
Like I don't even like betting on week one.
I will
I'm gonna
give you
say
that 'cause
this.
it's weird.
I'm gonna say this. It is a big loss for them because they lost to a division rival. So literally right now, I hate to say it, as of right now, Chargers are on top of the division. That's gonna change tomorrow. But first time that we're seeing KC at the bottom of the poll, and that's probably
Their
not gonna stay
weapons
there for
don't
that
look
much
all
longer.
that good to me, bro. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's not.
hey, and I watched Travis Kelce damn near his whole career, bro. I mean, it's over. It's over.
Yeah,
He's done to me.
He's in
'cause
love, bro.
I don't see it. Yeah,
He's in love.
yeah.
It's okay.
He's
It
in
happens.
love.
He's in love. It happens. Yeah, he's thinking about his wedding, bro. He's not really thinking about football at the moment. You know what I'm saying? He got his priorities shifted. So
Yeah.
that's all right. It's okay.
And don't trip, piano man. We'll get to you next week. All right. The Chargers are next week. We got something for y'all. We gonna focus on what we gotta focus on now. But we'll get to you. Don't worry.
Our guy Piano's been chopping at the bit all off season, waiting to go ahead and talk some shit. So the time is come and it's almost here. One more week. But really quick, shout out to over 100 people in the building. Appreciate everyone tapping in and rocking with us on this Monday morning. Make sure you guys head on over. If you guys are on Twitter, head on over to YouTube. Hit that subscribe button on both channels. Hit those thumbs. Everybody in here, our ride or dies, make sure you guys hit that like button. It does go ahead and support the show and get it out into the YouTube algorithm. We appreciate everyone pulling up and rocking with us on this Saturday morning.
And make sure you follow our guests as well, Chantelle as well on Twitter.
On Lockdown Raiders. Yeah, on Lockdown Raiders. We got the description pinned down below. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap in with them for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and go on to this. So we're staying on the topic of on defense. Will these linebackers light it up tomorrow? I'm talking about E-Rob. I'm talking about Jermaine Pratt. I'm talking about Jamal Adams. I'm high on Jamal Adams. Hopefully, and this is the thing. Hopefully, he stays healthy. And Delvin White. Delvin White just got moved to the weak side, and I have a little quick footage of him talking about him being moved over to the weak side. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. Here we go.
The important adjustments moving from Mike to Will.
It's a lot of different. It's just a lot of, you work with different people. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time, you got linebackers, they play one position. They either play the Mike or the Will, they to the field, they to the boundary. But when you're doing both, you all over. So I mean, your playbook got to expand to a whole nother level because you got to be able to flip-flop in between. If I'm out there with GP, he might be at one position, I'm at one position. If I'm out there with E-Rod, he might be at one position. They throw Jamal in there, he might be at one position. So for me, I got to be able to play it all, and that's what they told me. Like, hey, you versatile. Make sure you got your mind right and you got that playbook open because we're going to throw a lot at you. And I can handle it. I can handle whatever task they throw at me, man. It's just blessed to be in a position. And, hey, they can't put none on my plate I can't handle.
Yeah, so what are you guys' thoughts on the linebacker room? Honestly, at the beginning of this offseason, I was worried. And we got a couple additions in Jermaine Pratt and Jamal Adams. So I feel way better now. But what are you guys is thinking for tomorrow's game? What are we going to see from this linebacker room?
I think there's a lot of questions still because it's like, how are these guys going to perform? I think there's a lot of like veteran leadership, but it's like, how much is Jamal Adams going to be on the field? Even though I like the fact that they moved into linebacker, we know that he's not going to miss no tackles. He's going to be physical. That's what Jamal Adams does. But a guy like Devin White, are we going to get like Tampa Bay Devin White? Like what Devin White are we gonna get? Because if we get Tampa Bay Devin White, then we're laughing. But it's like we have to see, right? A guy like Pratt, I think, coming over to the Raiders, he still has a lot to prove as well. Even though when you think about it, like when he was with Cincy, he was one of their best players on defense, right? Yeah. So, but it's just like, how is he gonna do in this system with the Raiders? Like, we don't actually know. I do like that this is probably the most experience that the Raiders have on the team is in this room, but I think there's a lot of questions. And this is what we've been waiting for, is the first game of the season to figure out how things actually look, right? It's not a preseason game. We're going to get some real minutes, but I think there's some questions here as well.
Yeah. I'm right with you. I like this linebacker room way more than I did in the offseason. It looked like one of the worst units in the team. But now they flipped it around. But I'm right with the question marks too, because I'm looking, I like Devin White. But then if you're telling me Devin White is covering Travion Henderson, I like it a lot less. I'm going to tell you, I like it a way lot less. So we got to figure that out, man. I mean, I think the guys just play their roles, right? GP, let him cover. He's the best cover linebacker we got. I think we're going to see a Landon do something in that run game tomorrow, though. A Landon, every time I watch a Landon play, man, he's killing somebody in the run game.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to see that tomorrow. But if we're using Devin White to blitz, right? Because that's like Chantelle said, Devin White in Tampa was damn near an extra rusher, right? He blitzed the quarterback. He spied the quarterback. He was all over the place, getting in run lanes. If that's him tomorrow, we got something, right? We got something in that. And then, of course, Jamal Adams, like you said, Jay, the resurgence, man, having him closer to the line of scrimmage. Now, he's not the best coverage dude either, but I'm hoping like having him closer to the line of scrimmage will help him, right? Just be better in coverage. So, hey, I'm expecting them to do their thing, but that Josh McDaniels is going to try to scheme it up now. There are a couple of weaknesses on that linebacker unit where I'm like, he's going to try to scheme us up.
Yeah, for sure. For me, I'm excited to see E-Rob. He's going to go ahead and do this damn thing. Like you just said, he's been good on the run game. Really excited to see what Jamal Adams is going to do tomorrow. If they line him up on the slot, you already know. Yeah, that's an extra rushing. He's been killing dudes. Same thing with Delvin White. Now that he's on that weak side, we're going to see how he actually does. Everything he just said is true. All right. We're cooking, but if not, I don't know. It's going to be a long day. Let me go ahead and kind of shift over to this part, the secondary expectations. I think this is probably the biggest topic in that defense is that secondary, the corners. We just touched on it a little bit earlier with Eric Stokes, Darian Porter, how that's looking like. What are your thoughts? What do you expect from the secondary tomorrow? We don't know the depth chart as of yet. I'm pretty sure it's going to come out in the next couple of hours, but from right now, from what you see, what are you guys thinking on that? I'll start with you, Ren. Go ahead.
Dog, I heard Stephon Diggs is playing in the slot. So yeah, that's all I need to know. 150 from Stephon Diggs tomorrow, bro. We at least getting that. But everybody else though is young, right? Like everybody else, they don't really have nobody else to me outside of him. So if we can stop that, that'll be fine. We got to get Drake. And this is the thing that helps me though. And I know we'll talk about it kind of after this, but Drake May learning that Josh McDaniels offense, man. I mean, a lot of players say it's like learning trigonometry. You know what I mean? Trying to learn that first year. So and that's all about anticipation, accuracy, things of that nature. He's only in the second year, you know what I mean? So we got to get in these lanes, bro. The length will help at least. Our length will help to get in these pass lanes, maybe get our hands on a couple footballs. Thing I will like though, our safeties get their hands on the football, right? Like Palamau, Chin, they get interceptions, they get turnovers. So I'll expect them to do something tomorrow and get their hands on maybe a ride ball or something like that. You know what I mean? They'll do something.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Chantelle? What are your expectations on that?
Just don't give up big plays. That's it.
Yes.
Just don't give up those big plays. Be physical, right? That's what the Raiders secondary needs to do, is like, it just has to be about their effort and intensity level. Because when it comes to talent, they might be outshined. That's just the truth of it. So it's like they just have to be extremely physical. No missed tackles. I don't want to see any missed tackles in this game.
Yeah.
Like that. If I see a missed tackle, I'm going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
And just don't give up the deep ball. Yeah, because that shouldn't be happening week one. And we saw that a little bit during preseason. So the Raiders secondary just has to be extremely physical. Don't give up big plays. you can't let Diggs get 150. You might give up a touchdown, right? But it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, like, you just don't give up big plays. Like, I don't want to see Diggs have like a 60-yard reception, you know, like, that's what you cannot let happen. Like, and if that happens in this game, there's a possibility that might happen. But, you know, I like the fact that, yeah, the Raiders, like, they're going to be physical. You talk about guys like Chin, like, they do get interceptions. The Raiders need takeaways.
Yeah,
that's what they need. And luckily the quarterback is Drake May, so it's a possibility.
Oh yeah, they can definitely do that. They can definitely do that. Now look, I see, you know, there is potential for us to have a pretty good game, right? We can get the turnovers, but Shantelle brought up the best part, tackling. We know this Josh McDaniels offense, man. It's short, right? They dink and dunk down the field. It's the Tom Brady method, bro. Like, they're gonna get you down the field. There are a couple shot plays here and there, but 10, 8 here, 12 here. That's how they're gonna get you. And if we're not tackling, it's gonna be a long day, bro. Because you'll turn a 5-yard route into like a 12-yard route, and now all of a sudden they're down the field. You know what I mean? So we got to tackle. We got to tackle. And L Hitman, you know exactly what that means. The quarterback is Drake May. Flapjacks all day, man. That's what she's saying. Turnovers is what she's saying. So he's still got some work to do.
Yeah, for sure. As far as for me, obviously we got to go ahead and contain the run game, but just really not getting beat over the top. I think that's going to be the biggest thing here, is not getting cooked up top, and having Chin and Paul Mal up there. I'm not too worried. It's just getting beat over the middle. It's going to be the thing. If we're getting consistently cooked in the middle, it's going to be a long day. It'll be a long day because they're going to be able to move that ball almost at will. Yeah, it's going to suck. It's going to suck. So, but you'll probably see some packages where you have Chin go down on nickel and contain that if it starts being a real problem. And I feel a little bit better knowing that. So we're going to definitely see some packages. But I think we're, looking at this receiver room of the Pats outside of Stephon Diggs, I'm not a whole lot worried. I think we can definitely go ahead and contend. It's just really Diggs. It's him. But also, too, keep in mind, this guy's coming back from an injury. So how good of a version are we going to see of Stephon Diggs? He's on the older side. I think he's like 34. So he's on the older side. So it's not the Stephon Diggs of old. And that also kind of gives you a little bit of reassurance on how tomorrow's kind of going to go ahead and play out. I think
they just can't run the ball, man. That's just what it is.
We got to contain that. We got to contain that run game for sure. Let me go ahead and flip it over to the other side of the ball. Let me ask you guys this. And I'm going to go ahead and start off with this part. No Christian Gonzalez for this game. He is out on an injury. He did not practice the whole week. And I think it was yesterday they officially announced he's out for the game. So that's a plus for our receiver room. But I think this is the most anticipated thing that everybody's looking towards, the unveiling of the Chip Kelly offense. We've been seeing nothing but vanilla this preseason. So now we get to see almost a full playbook come out. What are we expecting from this Chip Kelly offense? Chantelle, I'm going to go ahead and start with you.
So,
what are you expecting to see?
So I'm going to keep it real. I think Chip Kelly's got a lot to prove this year, just for me, because it's like, just because they got Chip Kelly doesn't mean it's going to immediately translate this season for the Raiders. They got a lot of weapons, and I feel like for a guy like Chip Kelly, like, we've seen his stints in the NFL. He's a great college coach. This isn't college, though. Right? Like, we saw what he did at Oregon. We saw what he did last year at OSU. He's not going to have as much pressure because he's not the head coach. And I think some Raider fans were getting mad at me because I was saying this. But, like, Chip Kelly, when he was coaching with the Eagles, remember that was a team with, like, Mike Vick, Deshaun Jackson. Like, they were stacked. And a lot of reports came out that, like, they didn't rock with him as a coach. It's because Mike Vick and Deshaun Jack, like D-Jack and LaShawn McCoy and all of them were saying that he was treating them like they were, like, college kids. Right. And he came in with his philosophy. Luckily, like, there's a lot of young guys on the Raiders. So I think, like, Chip Kelly can mold them. But it's like, how are these guys going to adapt to, his system? He's super creative and I think he has all of the weapons. But it's just like I'm unsure of him on the NFL level. Like I just am, because I think he still has to prove that, because he hasn't had success in the NFL, right? He's had it in college. So it's like I'm just kind of waiting to see what that looks like. And at the same time, like when it comes to our quarterback situation, I think them not going out in the draft and drafting a quarterback said a lot, because when they went and got Geno, I was like, okay, this is cool, but this is like a Band-Aid for like a couple of years. And as a Raiders fan, I'm like, I'm so tired of mediocrity. Like I sat through a 2-win season, right? So it's like, I'm tired of mediocrity. We go out and get Geno. It doesn't mean that we immediately make the playoffs. That doesn't mean that the offense starts rolling. Geno has struggled behind a bad O-line. Our O-line is unproven. I'm feeling good about it, but it's unproven, right? And then at the same time, it's like, well, he struggles in the red zone. So I think the offense, like as much as people and like national media are going crazy, like he's got Brock Bowers, like it all depends on the O-line. Like how well is this O-line going to play? If the O-line doesn't play well, like we don't have an offense, right? And so I like the fact, I'll see some positives though. Geno's great being also a mobile quarterback. He's got a great arm. He has the familiarity with Pete Carroll. But for me, there's questions. And it's like, you know, if we don't win 7 or 8 games, I think that's disappointing. Like Vegas has them at 6.5, 7.5, depending on where you got them. Yeah. And so I want to see the over. If we don't win 7 or 8 games, I'm going to be pissed. But I'm not at the same time going to be surprised, because I've been the one that's like, I'm not totally sold on this whole Geno thing. I'm not. I like Geno and I want him to succeed, but it's a Band-Aid, y'all. It's not.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right. And so that's the thing. It's like, well, like, you know, we saw Arch Manning is like lighting it up right now, right? We saw him against OSU, struggled, but he was playing at, you know, Ohio State. You know, they're the national defending champs. He's not going to look good, but it's like I'm still looking at quarterbacks in the draft. Like that's what I'm doing as a Raiders fan, because I know this is a Band-Aid and I'm just tired of mediocrity. And I felt like some of the moves we made is like, yo, we're going to be a, you know, mediocre team. What do you guys think about it?
You preaching the gospel to me right now.
Yes.
The gospel.
What we've been saying all season.
I say it all the time, man. In the spring, I've been doing like this for, I think this is my 3rd year. In the spring, my channel turns into a quarterback draft channel for the Raiders. Every spring, it's turned. Yes, because I'm waiting. Right, I feel I've always said it in my whole fandom. We have yet to invest right in the quarterback. Yes. When we invested in Jamarcus Russell, I don't really remember. Right there, I don't think I fully understood the impact of what it was. Right, like now,
get out of my mind.
Yeah, yo, I have a Jamarcus Russell jersey, y'all. I was invested. Hey, I was invested. Yeah,
I didn't understand the impact. Now it's like, now that I know, it's like since that we shy away from it. We're scared, right? We don't want to invest high, which you know there has been some chances for us to do, but as of right now, Chantelle's been the first guest that says something about Geno where she's not 100% sold, which I love. I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Because at the end of the day, there is a possibility of that, right? There is a possibility that he does not perform up to snuff. Hey, because that's the worst possibility. Number one, the worst possibility is this man don't play the way he's supposed to. Because if he don't, we're definitely screwed. Everybody take that playoff word out your mouth. Because he has to.
I'm not even trying to talk about playoffs.
7 wins, I think we can get. I think we can get. Now, Chip, the thing about Chip that I do like is that even in the NFL, and this is probably going to make Chantelle mad, the word, but at worst, he's been mid, right? Like at worst, his offense has been mid. He's never been trash. So I will take that solace. But I do take, you know, positivity in the fact that he probably has something to prove his damn self. Because the last time he was in the NFL, it was bad. Like you said, it was terrible. You won in college, so you prove you can work with younger players and do all that. But now you got to prove you can do it with grown men. And if he can, I think this is the first time though we're not going into some of these games severely outcoached and out schemed like we have been in the past. Even with some people's savior, John Gruden, we was outcoached, we was out schemed at times, bro. Yeah. I mean, and from John on, every other coach we done had since then, you can definitely be like, yeah, we're going into a game. The other coach knows exactly what the hell we're doing by quarter 3, you know. So now I feel like with Chip, we at least have that to where he's gonna keep people on their toes, right? And we're not just so predictable.
Yeah, for sure. For me, with Gino, yes, I'm excited that Gino's here. I think it's an improvement to what we had last year, because last year looked god awful.
Yeah.
And we saw what Aiden was this preseason up to the point where he got injured. And we would have gotten the same thing as last year. I don't give a damn what you tell me. It was going to be the same exact thing. And I've been saying that. So with Gino here, we're going to see an improvement. But there is some issues, obviously, with the red zones, with the turnovers. That has to be asked. How is that going to go ahead and kind of pan out? Yes, he didn't have an O-line. He didn't have a run game last year with Seattle. Now he has an O-line, but can they really step up? He has probably one of the better running backs in the league, number 6, the best running back coming out of the draft. So it's a far more improvement than what he had in Seattle. But how is all of that going to translate? How is all that going to be put together? But I think the biggest thing here is, like Chantelle said, how can the O-line really step it up? Because it is improving. We made some changes. We originally went into this thing thinking JPJ was going to be our center. That changed. He got slid over to right guard. Meredith is now the center, and they like him at center. We still have Glaze and Colton on the tackles. Dylan Parham is now the starting left guard, which is kind of surprising. His game did improve, but I'm still on the fence on him. I'm still on the fence.
It
was preseason. I'm still on the fence because from what I saw last year was not impressive at all. I am not high on Dylan Parham. I've been talking some shit saying we need to get this dude out. I'm on the opposite side of Dylan Parham. But what are you guys thinking on the O-line? Do you think they can really go ahead and do the job and step it up and provide protection, provide lanes for Genty? Or is it going to be rough where we're going to see Gino scramble a lot and try to make plays on his feet? Go ahead, Chantelle. Give me your thoughts on that, because that's a real good question that you brought up earlier.
I think we just have to see it, right? Like, that's the thing. They made the switch, and when they made the switch, I was kind of freaking out. I was like, why are they moving JPJ? Yep. Right. And the thing about it is, like, they know better than me what they want to do with the O-line. It's like, but they open up the holes for a guy like Genty, because Genty's also good in the pass game too. Right. Mm-hmm. And so this year, like, we didn't get into the running back room, but I love our running back room. But I think for the O-line, like, if they can, get those holes open for a guy like Genty, we're going to eat. I do like that there's some continuity. We know what we're going to expect from a guy like Colton Miller. They love Meredith. They love Meredith, right? And working with Lincoln Kennedy, he kind of explained it too. Like, we just need to see the continuity. The more these guys play together, the better they're going to be. And here's the thing. Okay, so in the O-line in Seattle, when Pete Carroll was coaching in Seattle, they've never actually had like a crazy decent O-line. But like midway through the season, and this is even like the year they won the Super Bowl, they would figure it out like midway through the season. Like their O-line would be trash like the first 6 games. And then midway through the season, Pete would make adjustments. And like near the end, they'd be a little bit decent. So it's like, I think we're kind of going to see something similar in a sense where we're going to have questions about the O-line, and sometimes it might not look good. But as the season goes on, they're going to look a little bit better. So I'd be okay with that. I mean, it's week 1. We're going to see a lot of guys make mistakes. We're going to be pissed off about missed tackles, but I think we're going to see some pancakes too, man. There's going to be like JPJ serving up pancakes, DJ Glaze serving up pancakes. So I'm a little bit more confident in the O-line this season than I was last season. Like last season, like it was hard for me to like watch them play. Like I was yelling at my TV heavy. You guys probably would have thought I was crazy, but like it was
probably not.
I was right there with you.
Yeah. And so we just got a comment too, like Gatsby was trash, right? Like so that's another thing too, right? We were 100%. Calling for his head. Yeah, 100%. We were calling for his head. So it's like I think
said week 4.
yeah, exactly. So I got a little bit of positivity for the O-line more than I did last season. And I think as the season goes on, they're going to get better. So a little bit more faith, and they know what they're doing with the movement. Like I think Q told a story about how they told Meredith they wanted him to play center. And they
Yes.
told them like before training camp. So they were getting him prepared like well before training camp. So that tells me they had a plan for this O-line.
Yeah. That's 100. At first, I was with you. I didn't like it at first. I'm like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Why are we changing things up? Especially like this is where I was confused because it's not like we saw Meredith play right guard last year and play it well, So I was like, okay, we're switching it up. But hey, as preseason went on, they started to look a little bit better. So I think Jay and I said it too. They're already here. It's too late into the off season or whatever the case. You got to keep them there for the continuity, just like Lincoln was saying as well. So you got to keep them there. I feel like they'll get better as it goes. Parham has been my question mark. I know everybody, talks about the weight he's gained. I need to see it now. I need to see it because if I see you getting pushed back into Gino's lap once again, right, it take one rep for me, Shantelle. I'm telling you right now. It take one rep. I done seen you already for like 3-4 straight years, and you keep, messing up on this same thing. Then it's like, come on, dog. When are we gonna get it better? It's year 4, so I can't see you get pushed into the lap of Gino. The question mark I really have on the O-line, to be honest with you, is Glaze, and I thought it would be Meredith, but Glaze is the one, and especially for tomorrow because tomorrow they're going to put a heavy dose of Chase on DJ Glaze. And we're going to see early how much he has improved because I never thought we should have got rid of Chase on, to be honest with you. I was hoping we re-signed him. Now that he's over there, I've heard from multiple people, multiple either beat writers or whatever, he had himself a camp. Like he had himself one of them camps over there at the Patriots camp. So I'm intrigued to see what DJ Glaze does against Chason for 4 straight quarters because that he has bend and he's a real serious rusher. So that's a guy that I'm worried about over there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and put up the depth chart for the Patriots. So they have Chason set up as outside linebacker. Then you got Barmore. Tonga at nose tackle, Milton Williams. You got Harold Landry on the other side. You got Spillane, Christian Ellis, Carlton Davis. It does say, because this was on the 2nd, it does say Christian Gonzalez. He's out, so most likely it's going to be Marcus Jones stepped up that corner, Jalen Hawkins, and then Craig Woodson at safety. I think this is the same Craig Woodson that came out of the draft, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. But this name really sounds familiar. So that's the defense for as of right now for tomorrow. That may change once they put out their final depth chart for tomorrow's game. But we're gonna see some familiar faces in Chason and Robert Spillane, and we know what they can do. So hopefully that O-line does step up and provide protection. From what I saw in preseason, I feel a little bit better, but I'm still suspect on it. I got to see it on the field. I got to see how it plays out. We saw a little bit of it on that preseason versus the Niners when they played that quarter, and they did provide protection. They did provide lanes for Genty. Hopefully that is a continuation going into this game. I saw a little bit of it in Arizona when they did have their starters out there. But let me ask you guys this. I think this is also anticipated. Genty's impact. We expect big things from the number 6 overall pick from this draft, considered probably the best running back out there from this draft, and probably obviously top 5 in the league. What are you guys thinking his impact is going to be? How many rushing yards are you expecting from him to go ahead and produce, give us a win for tomorrow? Rundown. I'll start with you this time. What do you think Genty's impact is going to be
tomorrow or for the season as a whole?
Tomorrow.
Oh, look, all right, bro. 80 something yards tomorrow rushing. 80 something yards, about 30 something receiving. That's kind of where I'm at. Something small, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know where I'm at for the season now. I want my Saquon numbers. I want that. I want my Saquon.
We saw Saquon the other day too.
Hey, Saquon had 2,000 all-purpose his first year. Now he was with Daniel Jones and all that, so it was bad. But Genty can get close to that, right? If I give me that 1,800 to 2,000, I feel like he has the talent for that. So that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah. Vegas has the over under for Ashton Genty 70 and a half on the ground. I think Genty will get over 50.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's where I'd place my bet. I'd probably be like Ashton Genty over 50 yards.
Yeah, for sure.
I think 70, like I don't know how the O-line looks yet. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, I gotta wait and see. But it's like, I think, yeah, I would say over 50 yards. I think for the season, like at least 1,500 yards. They're gonna use him like a workhorse, right? They're gonna run the ball a lot in this game because they got to take care of the ball. I don't think they're gonna like try to do anything crazy in terms of like taking chances. They're gonna take a couple, but for week 1, it's like you got to run the ball. So I think Genty might have himself a day.
Yeah, for sure. For me, I'm thinking also around that 60, 70 yard range, probably maybe about $110 overall with receiving included. He has to have a pretty big game. I think he definitely, like you said, he's going to be a workhorse. The cool thing is that if we need really heavy lifting, heavy duty play, we have Raheem Mostert, we have Zamir White. Zamir White's going to be that hammer. If we need to go ahead and pound in the rock, they're going to go ahead and give it to that guy to go ahead and make shit happen. But definitely Genty's impact is going to be a big factor in this. And hopefully we get to see a little bit of that Saquon-esque that we're all expecting that he's going to be. And I think it has to play out that way in order for us to be able to go ahead and get the dub for tomorrow. Let me go ahead and flip it over to this. I wanted to go ahead and ask this question. We will see a lot of Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer out together. And I think this has probably been the question in the offseason. How are those two going to go ahead and work in the tandem? Are they going to be a tandem, or are we going to see specifically Brock out there or Michael out there by themselves? How do you guys think this is going to go ahead and kind of play out? Will we see a lot of 2 tight end sets from Chip Kelly?
I think so. I think tight end is probably the deepest room that we have. And I don't think people talk about Mayer a lot. He's a target. Like if I'm a defense, I'm keeping my eyes on him. You know, I think they're going to run the 2 tight ends a lot. I think in this Chip Kelly offense, I think they're going to play around with it. We might not see a lot of it like week 1, week 2, but I think when we get into like, week 5, week 6, we're going to see more of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And shout out Severe, man. If Genty get 50 yards, he gonna lose his goddamn mind, bro. don't let Travion Henderson have a good game either, bro. People gonna lose their mind. But honestly, yeah, Bowers should eat tomorrow, man. He should eat. Mayer, I'm expecting to be like the wild card, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people talking about Dante Thornton, but I think it'll be Mayer, man, because either way it goes, Spillane covering Mayer. You know what I mean? I think Mayer should be able to eat. A safety trying to cover Mayer all game should be able to eat. You know what I mean? So it's like I think he'll be able to move the chains tomorrow and do his thing. So yeah, I'm with that. And bro, they're in the comments killing me. But yeah, I think they're gonna eat, bro. 2 tight end sets because we didn't even see that in the preseason, right? We didn't see that at all. And we saw no motions, right? 0 motioning. Imagine what we can do now when we can start motioning across the formation. Now Bowers can get into a wide receiver role, the slot role, or something like that. And you can still use Mayer traditional tight end. So it's all going to work, man. It's all going to work.
Yeah, for sure. Let me go ahead and flip it to this. Let me ask you, how do you think the Raiders are going to do against the Pats defense overall? Are we, now that Christian Ellis is not going to play, do we have a really good shot to go ahead and get the dub tomorrow with everything, all these weapons combined? You know, we just mentioned Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Jacoby Myers, Trey, Dante Thornton, and Jack Besh out there. Everybody combined with Geno. Do you think we'd be able to go ahead and put up really good numbers against this defense, or is it still up in the air where we're going to have to kind of wait and see how that plays out? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
If the O-line is playing well, I think we score for sure over 20 points. I'd say that.
Yeah.
I think I don't even like this Pats secondary without Christian Gonzalez. There's nobody on this secondary that like really scares me on the Pats defense. So I think the Raiders offense should look good. And I know people are saying like, okay, if Genty hits only 50, that's disappointing. It is, but remember, it's like week 1, right? And it's like we got to see how the O-line looks and all that. But I think the Raiders are offensively should look good in this game. If they don't, I would say that's a little disappointing.
Yeah. Now I will be honest with you, Chantelle. If he do come out here and give me only 50 yards.
Over 50. Like if you're placing a bet,
yeah, if
right?
you give me over 50, yeah. But if you give me just 50, that my post game live is gonna be real scathing. It's gonna be real scathing. Now it's only if the O line was trash though. Like if I see like the O line was like complete utter garbage, then I'm like, all right, yeah, the excuse. You know what I mean? I'll give you the excuse. Yeah. But I mean that's kind of the thing that we've kind of talked about this whole live, really. O line. Right? It's O-line. It all falls on their shoulders. You drafted a position in the top 10 that is very reliant upon them 5 dudes in the front, right? So if they're not doing their job, we're not going to see what we're supposed to see from our guy. So tomorrow, the only thing I take solace in, the Patriots run defense was kind of booty. I will say that they were kind of trash last year, and they didn't really do anything this year to kind of fix it. Milton Williams, they signed. But Milton Williams ain't a run defensive D tackle though. He's a pass rush DT. Christian Barmore is not the greatest run stopping DT either. We know about Chason. He's not a run stopping DT. They're reliant upon getting us in those 3rd and longs, right? And then rushing the passer. So that's what we got to stay out of that. We got to get in those 3rd and 5s and shorts and then continue to move down the field. That's how we gonna win the game, bro. So yeah, I think honestly, Hitman, you lying to yourself. Hitman been in here talking. He a Patriots fan. He been here talking the whole time, talking about his even the 2nd string corner is good. Yeah, who's their 2nd string? Jay, who's the 2nd string corner for the Patriots right now? Without Christian Gonzalez.
Let me go back. I lost it. I think it's Marcus Jones is what I said.
Straight hibachi grill. It's over for you. It's over for you, bro.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Come on now. Who is that? Nobody even knows who that is. So Marcus Jones is getting cooked tomorrow, big dog. The only good one you have is Carlton Davis. I will say that. Carlton Davis is pretty nice. But he'll probably be covering Jacoby Myers if we're going to keep it real. There's nobody you have for Brock Bowers. Zero. Yeah. I mean, again, I triple dog dare you to put Robert Spillane on Brock Bowers. I triple dog dare y'all to do that, bro. I hope you do.
Yes. We're gonna be a long day for sure. Let's go ahead and move on to this part. The keys to victory. What do you guys think the Raiders have to do to go ahead and get the dub for tomorrow and start the season off 1-0? Chantelle, go ahead and kick this thing off. What do you think is going to be the keys to victory for the Raiders?
I do think the defense has to set the tone when it comes to that D-line. As I said, I think Max Crosby is going to eat when it comes to lining up, against a guy like Morgan Moses. He's going to eat. And I think guys like, Adam Butler, Malcolm Kuntz, they got to show out in this game because the D-line has to play good. So the secondary, they always say if the D-line, if the pass rush is there, the secondary will be all right. So I think they have to set the tone. And just in terms of offense, like we talked about Genty a lot, they're going to run the rock. Right. So I think the O-line has to open up those holes for a guy like Genty. And then Geno just has to play a solid game and take care of the football. That's all they got to do. Run the rock, take care of the football. And the defense has to show up for this team. And this is, a Pats team. Like I mentioned, 4 of those 5 guys on the O-line, they're brand new. 2 of them are rookies. So that's massive. No Christian Gonzalez. The secondary is looking a little bit weak. I don't care what Hitman's saying. And, I think they should take some chances as well against that Patriots secondary. If Geno sees the long ball, like take care of the ball. But if you see the deep threat, go for it. Because it's like, I think that secondary looks a little bit weak. I think the Raiders win this one. I think they score like 24 points. And they just have to be a little bit conservative because it's week 1. But if the chances are there, take them for sure. Because we want to see what's up with this Chip Kelly offense. And I think we might see some flashes of that. But that's the keys to victory. Just play good defense, take care of the ball, run the rock, and if you see the deep threat, go for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about you, Ron? What are your keys to victory?
Man, I look, for me, man, I just looked up Alex Austin right now. Yeah, good luck with that, Hitman. Good luck with that. This man on his third team. I mean, hey, who knows? He could be good, but he on his third team. He was a 7th round pick. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I see that.
yeah, we'll see. But as far as tomorrow, man, we got to run the ball, man. We got to run the ball. Control the line of scrimmage, bro. If we run the ball and Genty is killing them downfield, we'll be able to use that play action. Which I really think that's what we want to get to. We want to get to that play action, really, get our guys down the field because we got the speed now. If we suck the defense up, right, Tucker, Thornton, we be able to kill them down the field, bro. So it's all about running the ball, number one, establishing the line of scrimmage. Defensive wise, we have to dominate their O-line. There's no ifs, ands, no ways about it, dog. They have to dominate tomorrow. And if they don't, it's going to be a long day because you have a quarterback that can run. He's mobile. He'll move around, right? You have two rookies on that offensive line and a 34, 35-year-old tackle on the other side. It's time to eat. You know what I mean? Everybody over there got to do their job. And we all know how we feel about the secondary. So I think it all stems from both lines, to be honest with you. If we're running the ball on them at a nice little clip, they can't use their superpower, which we just talked about. They want to rush the passer. If you look at their D-line, that's what they want to do. They want to get to the quarterback. Yep. Can't allow them to do that. And if we're doing that, it's going to be a long day for Drake May. Because, again, we talked about it. He's learning Josh McDaniels' offense, right? He's in his second year in the NFL learning the Josh McDaniel offense.
Yes.
You cannot have him back there just all day looking to who to throw to, bro. You know that's complicated. I mean, Derek Carr didn't even get a chance to fully grasp that offense before he was let go, in my opinion.
He was years in the league.
That's what I'm saying. He was a veteran, and he still was like, nah, you know what I mean? It took me a minute. So we got to take advantage of that. And the only way to take advantage of that, pressure, getting in his face.
Yes, I agree for sure. Really quick shout out to the 150 people in the building rocking with us on this Saturday morning. Appreciate everyone pulling up and rocking with us. Make sure you guys head on over to YouTube, everybody on Twitter, and smash that subscribe button on both channels. Here's my keys to victory. Obviously, we got to go ahead and get the run game established and get that going. That not only is going to work for us on the play action, like you said, but to control the clock. The more time that we have our offense on the field, the better it's going to be, where we don't have to have our defense out on the field, which is, it's bottom tier at this moment, right? It's proven otherwise. We definitely got to go ahead and utilize Brock Bowers in the red zone. Turnovers are going to be the thing here. Make sure we create turnovers defensively, but offensively, making sure we're airtight on that, especially Gino with that red zone. We got to make sure we make wise decisions on that. Having Genty there and being able to run that rock in when we need it, it's going to definitely help out with that. On the D line, obviously, like we all said, and Chantelle just said, providing that pressure from that front four. If we have to go ahead and utilize certain blitz packages to make that happen as well, let's do that, because that's going to go ahead and help out our corners on that secondary. And like Ron just said, trying to figure out and really learn that Josh McDaniels offense, it's going to take a minute. So
hey, shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy DJ. He said we're talking about the corners, and the Patriots fans are talking about our corners the same way. He said, "This us right now."
Exactly.
We looking at each other corners like, God damn, bro, it's about to be a long day for the corner positions, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But yeah, no, I feel that. I feel it. Looking at them, they got Diggs and all that, so I can see why they would feel like that. But they ain't got our D line, so I feel like we'll be all right.
Yeah, for sure. For tomorrow, I'm thinking it's going to be a close game. We pull out the dub. I'm seeing 24-21 Raiders over the Patriots, but get ready for a nail-biter, y'all, because it's going to be very close, very stressful. I'm going to emphasize the word stressful. Prepare yourselves. make sure you guys have your drinks in hand because y'all gonna need it by the end of it. But it's gonna be worth it. We're gonna go ahead and pull out the dub for sure. Chantelle, what is your score prediction for tomorrow?
I think I'm gonna rock with 24-20 Raiders. I think the Raiders get it done on the road, but I also think like we're gonna see a few things we got to clean up later on. After the week is done. But I got the Raiders winning this one. I think their offense is gonna do some good things.
Agreed, man. I'm with you. Same thing. 24. I'm actually go like I said earlier. 17. 24-17.
24-17. There you go. That's what's up. So, everybody in the chat, go ahead and put out your score prediction.
27-24 Raiders. Ooh, that's a nail biter, man. That's a nail biter. I don't like it. But I did say we are going back to 2016. We was winning every game by like 3-4 points.
Yeah. For show is 45-17. Okay, no, you're very
I'll take that. I'll take that 100%. I will take that. 24-14.
Okay, there you go. Says Chantelle knows the deal. That's what's up. Clara is like 42-9.
Jesus.
Raiders.
Okay.
Wow,
Yes, okay.
Damn.
I ain't mad at it, bro. I ain't mad at it. You won't hear no complaints from me.
Yeah.
And she kept him to kicking 3 field goals for the Pats. That's funny.
That's a fact. I love the detail.
Yeah.
30-24. All right.
That's what's up. 45-10 Raiders. Man, we're getting those high scores.
There we go,
Our guy
Sal.
SoCal Sal. There we go.
Back to reality.
Reality. Mario Sweeney. Oh, okay. Damn. I'm gonna put up Hitman. That's fine. 34-13. Okay, bro. Raiders, I know about 13. I would have made it a little bit more closer, bro.
Yeah, I'd have gave y'all a little bit more than 13 points. I don't know about that, but still though.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and move into our final segment of the show. Usually towards the final end of our show, we like to go ahead and put the spotlight on our guest. And today's guest is none other than Shantelle Chand of the Raiders squad with Locked On Raiders. But before we go ahead and get into that part, let me ask you, and I'd like to ask this to all of our guests, who's on your Raiders Mount Rushmore? You were talking to us backstage. You're an Oakland Raiders fan. So you're way back. There you go. Your dad, you say your dad was a diehard Raiders fan. I'm a diehard Raiders fan. I'm getting my little girl the same way too. She's on the same path as you.
Yeah, she don't got a choice. She don't got a choice.
She got no choice. Neither does my son.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't got choices.
That's how it should be. For my Mount Rushmore, okay, obviously you got to put Al Davis on there, right? Yeah. My favorite player growing up was Charles Woodson. And to me, he'll always be a Raider, right? I don't care about his Packers stint. He's a Raider. And then I probably got to roll with, this is tough. Mount Rushmore is tough. Definitely Al Davis, because you got to have him on there. You got to have, Madden. You got to have Madden on there. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think for me, because I'm going to be a little bit biased, but like I was a big Tim Brown fan. So I got Tim Brown on there as well. So that's my 4.
Yeah. Mr. Raider for sure. Love it.
It's hard to leave off like Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson, but it's like I saw more of like Tim Brown and Charles Woodson growing up. So that's why that's why they're on my 4.
Jealous of y'all that saw Tim Brown, man. Y'all got Tim Brown. I got goddamn Amari Cooper. Hey, who knows?
Beautiful, bro.
That's tough. That's tough.
It is, man. It is. Well, our Mount Rushmores vary. It varies. My Mount Rushmore is sad, but it is what it is, though.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of Seawood, I got Seawood on deck. Here we go. Seawood.
Yeah, that's my guy right there, though. That's my guy. I got the older one, but still my guy, though.
No, that's the jersey I'm rocking tomorrow for the game. Hopefully, it brings me some good luck. We gotta win this
white one. Yeah, I got the white one.
I've had bad luck with buying jerseys. It's all older former players for me right now.
No, after I actually bought Coop's jersey. That was the last jersey that I bought of like a new player. Yeah. And I was like upset. I was like, I'm not buying no more. And then they like traded Khalil Mack. I was devastated. But I'm not even over that. I'm not even over them trading Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
I got a 17 in the closet, and that 17 is from a
Ooh,
player
no,
we shall not
no,
name.
no,
Yeah,
no.
so
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Throw that in the trash. Throw that one in the trash.
so
Light it on fire.
better than
Light it on
me.
fire. Yeah,
Better than
yeah.
me.
I know. Again, condolences to all the fans who brought out their 89 Amari Cooper jerseys. You guys gonna have to put
Shit
that
out
back
for
in
like
the closet.
24
y'all.
hours.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna just put
24
tape on it and put
There you go.
Rock Bowers.
Stick on the
Just
back
write it
rocket.
down. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We got to figure out how to do that as a fan
on it.
base, man. How to scrape these names off and just put them on ourselves, man. At the rate
Yeah.
that we going. So we got to figure that out.
I think the one jersey you can buy is a guy like Max Crosby, though. Like,
Yeah,
I think
that's
like
safe.
Max is a
That's
real
safe.
Raider. He's one of the best defensive players in the league. Like, I think that's a jersey that you can like actually put money towards and get, and that I'd be like, okay, I rock with that.
I want to do Bowers, but they scare me, man. They scare.
Yeah.
He ain't been re-signed yet. You know what I mean? I got to wait till that second contract. So I
Yeah.
can get
Well, he's gonna be here at
Bowers.
least a good,
You
5
say that.
years.
You
Yeah.
say that.
No, but
we're
remember when he
Raider
got
fans.
drafted? Remember when he got drafted? There was reports that like he wasn't like
Yeah.
too happy. So I don't know. I
We're
don't know.
Raider
like,
fans, Jay, bro. We don't know what's gonna go down. We say
That's
that now,
true.
and then we look in 2 years, the man playing for somebody else, and we like, well, what happened?
Exactly.
So
Yep.
yeah, I gotta wait till second contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my Browers jersey. I got my Crosby jersey. As it should be.
I gotta get
But
Crosby.
yeah. Crosby's dope. That's what that picture down below. I'm rocking my Crosby jersey.
Oh,
And
they
so
say
my-
he's scraping nameplates. I'm
Yeah.
with you, dog.
There you go, bro. Yep,
I'm
for
with you.
sure. But let me go ahead and move into the final segment, the spotlight. Meet our guest, and like I said, our guest today is Shantelle Chand from Locked On Raiders, from the Raiders Squad. So make sure you guys go ahead and tap in. The descriptions down below to go ahead and tap into their show. Fire show. Real quick, let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Let me ask you this: how long have you been a Raider fan for, and what was that moment that really kind of made you fall in love with the silver and black?
So I've been a Raider fan my whole entire life. Like I was born into it, didn't have a choice. Like I have like baby LA Raider clothes. I still got it. Like onesies and stuff like that. They say LA Raiders. So like I was just born into it. And I remember my first game that I saw when it was like the LA Raiders. We played the Seahawks at the Coliseum there in LA. And after that, I was just like hooked. I think I was like maybe like 4 years old or something like that. And I still remember like just the crowd was hype, the energy. We ended up winning that game. So ever since that, like I've just been hooked, and they've been my squad. But yeah, I was born into it. So I never had a choice. All my family's from like the Bay. So it's like you're either a Raiders fan or you're a Niners fan. Like that was like the only thing. And so, I was always a Raiders fan.
There you go.
Niners fan, man. It just ain't right.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I can relate. My sister's a Niners fan. I don't know where that came from. We're not from the Bay.
Yeah.
We got no family in the Bay.
Yeah.
But that happened. Don't know how it happened, but it is.
Did she like Jerry Rice or something like that? Because I could see you like.
I don't know. I never asked her like why like she likes the Niners, and I'm always been Raiders. All my brothers are Raider fans, so it's like, where did that come from? Like, you don't know. It's no pressure.
I'll say this: I like Jerry Rice as a kid, but my pops is like, nah, like you cannot ever buy a Niners jersey. But then when he came to the Raiders, I finally got my Jerry Rice jersey, so I still got that. But yeah,
I gotta get.
He was still good when he came with us, though. So that it was all good.
So
went to the Super Bowl. We went to the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't want to talk about that
so-
Super Bowl, but I'm still not over that one.
Hey,
Same,
but he
same.
still had some good years with us. So at least you can sit there and be like, all right, this is good. You know what I mean? We get that.
Yeah.
I wanted to Crabtree, the last receiver I remember for me, that was like impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mad impact.
Yeah. I think you answered the question. I don't know if you did, but it was Tim Brown your all-time favorite player for you?
No, it's Charles Woodson, but Tim Brown comes close second. Even like even during the bad years, like I was a huge Darren McFadden fan. I think he never had the O-line. There were a lot of players that I like loved on the Raiders, that probably don't get no shine. Like I was a big Khalil Mack fan. Those were some good years I felt like he had with the squad. But yeah. Charles Woodson for sure. Like I don't care about his Packers stint. I don't care that he won a Super Bowl with them. He's a Raider to me.
That I feel. I love Charles Woodson. Real quick before we do get out of here, I love to ask this question too because everybody, we pretty much all in content. What's been the most fulfilling, the best thing of the journey so far doing this content stuff? What's been the most challenging?
Well, so here's the thing. I've been in media for like 15 years. And I think the hardest thing is like, well, what you guys are doing right now, this is why I jumped on the show. I think you got to show channels like this love because you guys are putting in the work, putting in time and like growing a fan base. And I think that's important. So I think that's the hardest thing to do in terms of content because it's like YouTube is always changing the algorithms, right? And that's like, you're always trying to figure that out and then how to push content. And then it's like, you guys probably got like real jobs on the side. And it's like, you do this on your free time. So it's like, you're pushing out all this content and that's hard if you don't got people doing, social media for you, doing your YouTube page for you. That's the hardest part. Cause I think other people got other avenues of money that they're bringing in. The best part about the journey, it's kind of crazy. Cause like as a kid, I always wanted to cover something of the Raiders, like whether it was like a sideline for a game or like being an anchor on a desk for like halftime or something. And so when Locked On came around, I was just like, yo, it's the Raiders. Okay, sign me up. Like I didn't care how much bread they were going to give me or what. I was just like, okay, I'm down. But I think the coolest thing has been like covering things that I actually want to cover. When I first got into the game, I was doing traffic and I hated it. And I did it on radio for like 5 years. And I was like, man, I can't talk about another stall. So I started like making like sports demos and stuff like that. And it got in the hands of like the Blue Jays minor league team. And then from there, it kind of just took off. But I think the most fulfilling thing is like actually covering things I want to cover, like football and basketball. That's been fulfilling because it just shows like hard work kind of pays off. But yeah.
Beautiful. Love to hear that, man. Love to hear that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Talk about your show with Lincoln Kennedy and our guy Q, the Raider Squad. How did that form? How'd you get into that? How's that going? Because you guys are still relatively new, and I don't think a lot of the nation has heard too much of you guys yet. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, Link and Q have worked together for a minute. So, they already have like the chemistry and everything locked down. They've been working together for years. The show came around. I'll give you guys a little bit of an inside scoop. So I am Canadian, right? Living here on the West Coast. Yeah. So they Locked On came to me and they were like, this is so funny because they just assumed that I was like a Blue Jays fan, but I grew up going to like athletic games and like I'm actually a Dodgers fan, which is interesting. So they came to me and they were like, because they didn't know any of like my Bay Area roots or anything like that. So they came to me and they were like, do you want to host this Blue Jays show? And I was like, I love baseball, but like, and I do like the Jays. Like I don't hate them, right?
Right.
So I was like, I don't know, like I'm busy because I do sidelines for like the WNBA and like the CFL and all that, right? So I was like, I don't know if I could do every game because baseball is like crazy. Like they have a game every day.
It is.
And so I was like, I don't know if I could like commit to something like that because I'm always on the road traveling for work.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, well, like what else would you want to do? I'm like, yeah, if it's the Raiders, if it's anything like Raiders or like something like basketball, like hit me up. Like I'll probably be down. And then they came to me like 2 months later and they're like, do you want to like host the Raiders show? And I was like, okay, great. And I've seen some of Q's content before. I've heard Q on ESPN radio for years because I used to work in radio too. And so like I noticed his voice, but I never knew the face of Q until I like actually met him. And then like Link was one of my favorite players growing up. Like, I think that right tackle position for the Raiders hasn't been solidified since Link's been on the team. And so then they just put it together like Link's going to be on the show, Q and me. And we've been doing it since, I guess the first episode was like the last day of June, which would be like June 30th. So it's been a couple of months now. It's fun, doing shows with like Link, who I think is, one of my favorite Raiders of all time, but also like I think when it comes to the O-line, like he was such a big piece during those years. Yeah. And also a UW guy, like, I'm in Seattle as well. So he won a national championship with the Huskies. So always been a fan of him. And he's just like such a football mind. So it's cool working with him because like, and Q's like one of the best in the game. He covers the Raiders the best in Vegas, I think. So to work with those guys, I think that's just a privilege. So I'm just lucky to be there, to be honest with you guys. And like, I'm a fan. So for me, it's not really work. So that's
Yeah, I
why
get
I,
it.
yeah. So
That's
I
the
was
best
like,
thing.
yeah. So even like when you hit me up, Jay, and you were like, hey, you want to come on? I'm like, yeah, for sure. It's like the Raiders. Like anything I could do to
Yeah.
talk about the Raiders, I'm down, like 100%.
That's what's up, for sure, for sure.
That's dope.
But you
man.
guys are doing great things in that show. I tap in as much as I can with the show with Q. Shout out to Link as well. We got to get a little Link on the show because that's the only one from the Raider squad that hasn't been on the show. He's a hard man to get a hold of, and I just missed him in Arizona a couple of weeks ago. Like I was walking in the family, he was walking out. It was just so hot in that building. I don't blame the dude, bro, because we're all just sweating like crazy. It was not a vibe, but I just missed. But we gotta get him on the show. That's the only one that we're missing on here. But shout
I'll
out
put
to
in a good
you.
word for y'all. I'll put in a good
There you go.
word for y'all. Yeah.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
Yeah.
I got you and Q kind of,
Yeah.
sending little vibes and sending little messages out to Link. Hopefully we can go ahead and get him on the show real soon. But you guys keep doing your thing. You guys have put out a great show. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap into the Raider Squad show every Monday and Thursday, right?
Monday and Thursday, 7:30 a.m. if you're on the West Coast, 10:30 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. And if you're a Raider hater too, we welcome y'all too. So
Oh, yeah,
Y'all can
man.
go. You
They
heard that,
welcome
panel?
you
You can
in
go
the
on
brand
there.
too, man. So they all welcome as well. But yeah, definitely appreciate you for tapping in with us this morning and just sharing some of your insight. Would love to get you on our solo shows too. We do our own thing as well outside of this. So would definitely love to get your insight on one of the solo shows if we could. But again, thank you for your busy time as of this morning. I mean, Saturdays everybody got things to do, but you tapped in with us, so appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all for having me, and happy to support the show. So thanks for having me, guys.
Of course, man. Thank you again.
Yeah, appreciate you and appreciate 150 in the building that rock with us and tapped in on this Saturday morning. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button on both channels. It does go ahead and support the show and help to grow the shows. Hit that like button to go ahead and get it out to the YouTube algorithm out there. But make sure you guys go ahead and tap in with us next Saturday morning. We will be back for another Good Morning Raiders. Again, same bad channels, same bad time, 10 a.m. Pacific. We're going to be breaking down week 2, the home opener in Vegas versus the Chargers. Chargers just went out and did the damn thing yesterday. They went out and beat KC. Yeah. So it's going to be a good one. You already know. I'm going to be out of the home opener. So we're going to do it up. We're going to do it up right. We're going to black that thing out. And I can't wait. It's going to be a hot one for sure. So make sure you guys go ahead and tap in. Good Morning Raiders next week, 10 a.m. Pacific. Same bad time, same bad channels here at Just Raiders and the Raider Rundown. Appreciate everyone tapping in.
Hold on. We got $2 holler. Appreciate you.
I know. Hey, appreciate you, my guy. One of my members here at Just Raiders. If you want to be a member, just like Spaces, make sure you guys hit that link that's pinned up top on my channel. It does go ahead and help to keep the lights on over here at Just Raiders. And same thing with the Raider Rundown. Make sure you guys go ahead and become members as well. But other than that, that is our time for today. We will see you guys next Saturday. Appreciate you guys. And go Raiders. We got this tomorrow.
Dub tomorrow, man.
Yes,
sir.
We on.
Make sure you guys tap
hopefully
in for my look. Yeah, make sure you guys tap in for the post-game reaction show with me. 30 minutes after the game, I'll be on live. We're going to go ahead and talk about it, whether it's a dub, whether it's an L. We're going to go ahead and work this thing out together, y'all. You already know what time it is.
Depending on how we play, you might see me. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
You'll see me whatever phase I'm in. It don't matter. But we're going to do the damn thing post-game reaction show tomorrow, 30 minutes after the game. Patriots versus Raiders. But we'll see you guys next time. Go Raiders.
Peace.
Peace.